three fundamental elements of psychological counseling. They are informed consent, confidentiality, and privacy. Informed consent is the permission that the counselor obtains from the client before going into the process of counseling. The counselor informs you about certain basic aspects of counseling such as confidentiality, privacy, the duration of the session, fees, and obtains from you certain emergency numbers in case of emergency, in your best interest whom to contact and such details, and takes your permission to go ahead with the counseling process and informs you about these basic elements. This is informed consent, and the counselor may even obtain your signature saying that you have given the permission to undergo counseling with this particular counselor. What confidentiality means is that whatever is spoken by you in the session to the counselor shall remain between you and the counselor. It is the responsibility of the counselor to keep the information that you have given safe from unauthorized access. However, there are certain limitations to confidentiality. These limitations are as follows. In the case that there is a chance for self-harm or harm to others or harm to the counselor may give out certain necessary information to the relevant people after informing you. In all likelihood, the counselor has already informed you about this limitation to confidentiality, and so as discussed, the counselor will breach confidentiality and give this information to the relevant people after informing you in your best interest and also in the best interest of the counselor. The second situation is in case there are legal proceedings as mandated by the law of the land. The counselor may be asked certain information. In such cases, the counselor will provide only whatever minimal information is required by the law of the land to be given to the appropriate authority. So in such cases, the counselor can breach confidentiality. Even in this case, the counselor informs the client that this has to be done and helps the client to go through the process of giving out the information. The third situation is in case of life or death situations, wherein the counselor again can contact the emergency number given by the client in the best interest of the client to safeguard the client and also to legally safeguard the counselor. These are the three situations where confidentiality may be breached. Also, there is a special case for informed consent and confidentiality in case if the client is a child who is below the age of 18, in which case the counselor will take the consent from the parents to get the child in the counseling process, and any breach of confidentiality would happen by telling the parents of the information that has to be shared with the parent, any important information. There is an exemption to this. In case the law says that in case of a particular crime like child sexual abuse, in which case the counselor or anybody is supposed to directly report to the law enforcement authorities. In these exceptional situations, the counselor will inform the parent and directly report to the police or law enforcement. Privacy is nothing but the fact that a client only has to share so much information as they are comfortable to share with the counselor, and also right to privacy is a part of the Indian Constitution in Article 21. So privacy is the right of the client, and confidentiality is the responsibility of the counselor to protect the information of the client, and informed consent is also the responsibility of the counselor to inform you of the various elements that are important in counseling that you must know and take your permission to take you through the counseling process and help you through the counseling process. So these are 3 important elements of counseling that you must remember when you go into a counseling session. Thank you all.